What to do, man? Raider Nation, Raider Nation, Raider motherfucking Nation, man. You already know what it is, man. Put them badass kids up. Your homeboy, the sports man, is on, man. We finna get right to it, Raider Nation, man. Damn, do y'all hear me now, Raider Nation? Do y'all hear me now, Raider Nation? I keep hearing no man over the shield, no person over the shield. But so many try to put Josh McDaniels over the shield when he ain't done nothing but loss. Nothing but lose. Nothing but lose. But anyway, man, I can't fucking take it. This is where we are, man. 1-2. We're 1-2 coming off a loss at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Am I surprised we lost? No. To be honest with y'all, I expected us to lose. I just don't see how you can win when you don't sustain any kind of drives. You're not creative. It's the same old formula, same old recipe. I'm watching other fucking teams. I'm watching Philly. I'm watching Miami. I'm watching these coaches be creative with the schemes. They just creating. They're creating. It can't be vanilla. Can't be vanilla. And they keep saying Josh McDaniels is this genius. He knows, he's this mastermind. But the more and more we say he's the mastermind, look like he was really no mind. Because look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, trash. Josh McDaniels without Tom Brady, trash. Shit, who was it? Only one that's really made this fucking Mike Vrabel, and he was a player. And then the one who used to coach the Detroit Lions with the pencil, trash, trash. So it keeps getting proven over and over again. Just because you come from the New England Patriot tree doesn't mean that you're a great coach or a great assistant. Like, for instance, the fact that Josh McDaniels comes in and he hires Patrick Graham when there was obviously better defensive coordinators available, but you want to hire familiarity. And I don't think that's the right way to go. I think you got to go for the best available who can really help you win. Anyway, let's go to the Raiders game. I didn't expect to win. As long as we have a quarterback, y'all, as long as the quarterback is not throwing the ball, the run game is not going to be there. So that's why I said coming into this game, they was going to have to fucking have Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball. I said it. I said he cannot be handoff Jimmy anymore. This shit is over. It's not going to work. This isn't San Francisco. It doesn't work that way in the AFC West. And to Josh McDaniels' credit, he came out with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball. Now, we all really know what that means. If Jimmy Garoppolo throws the ball, all you got to do is call fucking Kyle Shanahan, and he'll tell you. And he'll tell you why he drummed up 50 runs in playoff games and 10, 11 passes in playoff games. Come on now. Where the fuck they do that at? Where they do that at? They never happened to Peyton Manning, fucking Drew Brees, any quarterback that's ever went to the Super Bowl. They never handed off 50 times because they're afraid of his throwing. They don't trust him. They don't trust what's between the ears. That's why in San Francisco that game plan was so easy, so simple for a quarterback. They call it quarterback friendly, is what they say. But the issue is this. once that once that shit goes down, once this great plan, because we all know Josh McDaniels has, I've been saying it for 2 years now, he has the best opening script in the NFL. He knows how to score first, but he just don't know how to score after that. So the Raiders do what they always do. Defense came out, played great. Offense went down there and got a touchdown. Good start. That's how we want to play. Jimmy Garoppolo threw the touchdown to Devontae Adams. Just barely made it through the hole. We don't care. As long as it made it through there, it's a touchdown. So we get the tug. We're like, okay, let's go. Let's fucking go. The defense goes out there. Kenny Pickett, who's had his best games of his career against the Raiders, whether it was last year or this year. Kenny Pickett steps up. Boom. Throws a big bomb to somebody we never even heard of. I think he a rookie. Throws a big bomb to him. touchdown. And now, don't forget, you got TJ Watt over there. And we can't, and everyone says we have to establish the run. Look at how you gonna establish the run when you have 8 people in the box not caring about the pass. You know what I'm saying? If they don't care about the pass, they're gonna all sit close in the box. That's why as soon as Josh Jacobs get that ball, it's people back there. As soon as any running back on our team get the ball, they're back there. This is how it is. So the only thing the Raiders had to do, what they had to do was establish a passing game. So Jimmy Garoppolo, this game, he had to be a real quarterback. Like you can be a game manager. That's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a game manager. But game managers have to be able to make throws. And when you cut off complete sections of the field, when you don't even look at Hunter Renfrow 20 yards down the middle with no one 10 yards from him, and you immediately throw to the running back in the flat with the 1 yard gain, that's a problem to me. And that's not going to work because that's the old San Francisco system where they didn't have to come back. They already had leads because they was just so dominant on the run game and in the defense. So that doesn't work. So he comes with this, he's trying it, and then he's just not, I mean, the players are there. Some people are blaming Josh McDaniels play calling, which is always shaky, but he's calling the plays, the routes are there. The receivers are there. Jimmy has all day to pass, and he does not making the passes. He passed the ball, looks around, and he can't get it done. So anyway, they tie the game at 7-7. Raiders are trying to move the ball, and then you already know what happens next. Jimmy Garoppolo interception. And it's like, what can we do about that? He has to throw the ball. You can't, I mean, we can get mad because it's interceptions. But at the end of the day, this is who Josh McDaniels wanted. This is who he felt he needed to win, and he felt like he knew his system. I mean, but anyone who's ever watched the 49ers know that Jimmy Garoppolo never could make all the throws. They never ask him to make all the throws because they know he cannot make the throws. So he's going to throw interceptions because he's going to throw more than he ever does. I think that he threw 40 times the other night. I think that's probably the second most ever in his career. He doesn't throw like that. He doesn't do that. That's what I'm saying. But in the AFC West with the Raiders, you have to be a real quarterback. You have to make them throws. You have to. Tight windows, double coverage, 20-yard chunk, 30-yard chunk, 60-yard bomb. You have to make these throws to keep up with Patrick Mahomes, to keep up with Justin Herbert, even keep up with fucking Russell Wilson. He can throw that ball. Only reason we won that game is because they missed a field goal and an extra point. We won by 1 point. So the Raiders have no reason to be holding their head up high when it was going into Buffalo, and they got a shellacking because they wasn't ready to play. And then now here we are just taking another L to the Steelers because the quarterback has to be a real quarterback. There's no way around it. So Pittsburgh gets the ball. Najee Harris, the overrated Najee Harris, who I had a lot of fucking high hopes for coming out of Alabama. I'm a USC fan, but I like Alabama because they had all the fucking weapons. You can't help but watch and see great players. I was watching when Tua was there and all these players was there. So Najee, trash, shut down. Pickett, trash, but he looks way better. He has his career fucking game like he always does against the Raiders. They came into that game with the worst offense in the NFL, even worse than ours. They came in with the most 3-and-outs, even more than the Raiders. Believe that? That's crazy. And then that worst offense outscored us. But they ended up putting drives together. Max Crosby coming off the edge, doing what he can do, making his mark, making his impact. But Tyree Wilson, where the fuck are you at? Where the fuck is Tyree at? This is your first round pick. You're gonna spend your 7th pick. Everyone complained about John Gruden. He didn't know how to draft. He's the worst drafter of all time. That's why the Raiders are in such fucking disarray. All right. A lot of that's true, and a lot of it's not true. And you say, okay, let's look at Josh McDaniels. Bro, you cannot miss when you have Jalen Carter, who's healthy right there sitting on your lap, opposed to a player who just suffered a serious injury for the second time. If you look at the record, it's his second Liz Frank injury, not on the same foot. I believe it was the other foot last time. But you rather roll the dice on that than an immediate impact day one starter. This is what's hurting. This is what's hurting us right now. So eventually they're able to get a fucking running game going. Najee Harris is able to get some runs and some spins up the middle. Why? Because Tillery is pretty good. Jenkins is pretty good. But we need impact players. So they're getting their way. They're getting their way. Their defense is getting stops here and there, but then they're still scoring on us. And it's just like when you watch the game, you say, okay, the Raiders cannot get to the fucking red zone. The biggest gripe about Derek Carr was he couldn't score in the red zone. He can't score in the red zone. He sucks in the red zone. Jimmy's great in the red zone. Jimmy can't even get to the red zone. How are we going to score if we can't get to the red zone? We're going to be kicking fucking 65-yard field goals? This is not a recipe for winning. It's not a recipe for winning. And I'm trying to figure out how the Raiders go from from scoring almost 24 points a game. And remember, the last two games of the season, they didn't really score shit. But before that, they were scoring more. So they was really in the top 10. So the last two games, they didn't really score shit. But how do you go from a top 10, top 12 offense scoring 24 points a game, to we're scoring 15 points a game right now? And it's a struggle. It's a fucking struggle. We have Devontae Adams. We have Hunter Renfrow, who has 3 catches on the year. We have Jacoby Myers, who's better than I thought, who fits in real nice. I like him, period. Austin Hooper, I'm not naming him because that's a wasted fucking tight end. He does nothing for you. But we have Josh Jacobs still. We have weaponry out there. And we're scoring 15 points a game. And we're in the AFC West. Come on now. The Chiefs, they started off slow. The Chargers, they started off slow. But what both those teams can do is score. They're going to fucking score. And what we have to do is be able to fucking score. He's like, fuck it. If our D is trash, our D is trash. Our D's been trash since 2007. 2006 was the last time we was in the fucking top 15, top 19. We've been that fucking bad. So if our D's going to be trash, we got to score. We got to score 30 a game. We got to score 25 a game. What the fuck you think we was doing last year? Our D was trash, and we were scoring 25, 30 a game and still losing. So you get what the fuck you put in the offseason. We put in on more offense. We could have went right in on Hargrave. He was available. We could have signed him. I like Jacoby Myers, but we got Hunter Renfrow. We could have fucking kept Darren Waller. Went ahead and signed Hargrave. Still drafted Jalen Carter. Now you have Max Crosby, Jalen Carter, Hargrave, Chandler Jones. That is a top fucking defensive line in the NFL. That's a top line in the NFL. Ziegler, y'all can't figure that out? You have to spend money in this league. You're not going to make anything happen with mediocre players that you think you're going to just save money. You're saving money for what? What you going to do with the money? What the fuck you going to do with the money? The money's supposed to be spent on the players. Hargrave is there. Fuck it. Pay him. We'll figure this shit out later, man. That's what the good teams do. We'll figure this shit out. You sign Hargrave. You draft Jalen Carter. Your defensive line is set. Set. Now we just worry about the back end. But no, we can't do that. These two fucking guys couldn't just do that simple job. They think they're so smart and have to outsmart everyone. Stop this bullshit. Keep it fucking simple sometimes. And that's what we did with our fucking offense. We kept it simple and we kept it trash. You look at the stat line at the end of the game, you think Jimmy threw it around the yard. He did not. He threw it over the yard. He threw it past wide open people. He probably made about 6-7 good passes I've seen that game. That surprised me. Pretty good passes. Everything else was underthrown at the feet or overthrown. And he's trying to make plays just like any other NFL quarterback. But for the Raiders to actually have a chance at winning that game, we had to go in there. We had to go in there and commit no turnovers. Zero turnovers is what we needed to do. And you know who else said that? Mike Tomlin. They come into Las Vegas, and guess what they do? 0 turnovers, and they get the win to our, I think, 4 turnovers. We threw 3 interceptions. How are we gonna win when we're throwing interceptions and we can't get into the red zone? At least if we got to the red zone, we can kick some field goals. At least have a chance. At least have a fucking chance. Marcus Peters out there looking fucking my age. Like, bro, this shit is not looking good right now, and it has to change right now. It has to change right now. This shit has to change right now going into LA. Going into LA, this shit has to change. Because that fucking game pisses me the fuck off. And I'm about to, matter of fact, fuck this. I'm about to go to my phone right now, and I'm going to look at the final fucking stat line of Kenny Pickett, who loves having career days against the Las Vegas Raiders, because we do not and will not emphasize spending money on defense. We have the highest paid offense, top 2, top 3 in the league. And I'm pretty sure we have the least paid defense. How are we going to – come on, man. Let's make this shit make sense. Let's make this shit make sense. It's not fucking rocket science. It ain't rocket science. Let's take a look. These are the final numbers here. Kenny Pickett. Okay, here are the final numbers. Kenny Pickett, 16 for 28. Not great. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then you have Najee Harris, 19 carries, 65 yards. That's not a bad job by the deep Russian defense. But then you have, who's that? Pickens. Is his name Pickens? Yeah, then they got Pickens, that weapon. 4 catches, 75 yards. Come on, man. You got to play better defense than that. Then you got Austin III, 2 catches, 72 yards. We got to play better defense than that. It's not like they had catch after catch after catch after catch. Their plays were big chunk plays. They were chunk plays that they got on the Raiders. They weren't methodically moving the ball down the field. They moved the ball down the field on a lot of fucking mistakes that are being made on our defensive side. And this is something that Patrick Graham still hasn't figured out. This is something that the Raiders have not figured out, is that you're not going to win going cheap. You're not. Look at Dallas defense. It's nasty. You got Stephon Gilmore over there. You got fucking Michael Parsons over there. They got real weapons over there. That's just an example. The fucking 49ers, there's real weapons over there on the defensive side, and they win. You can't win if you're not going to be able to, if you're afraid to spend money. Like, what are you saving money for? For what? For what? What's the money going to? Pay the fucking players you need to fucking win the game, man. Like fucking Herm Edwards said, we play to win the game. Come on, man. Get your fucking stuff together. This shit is fucking ridiculous and unnecessary. Now let's take a look at the Raiders fucking numbers right here. All right. Jimmy Garoppolo, the winner. 28 completions, 44 attempts. 44 attempts. Look, when I said that he has to fucking be a part of the passing game and create a passing game, I still meant to try to be balanced on offense. But because you just couldn't come out going handoff, play action. You couldn't do that shit against the defense that already knows you're playing. The whole NFL knows you're playing, because the whole NFL knows your quarterback. They've already played him, and they know exactly what to do to him in San Francisco. So it's not a fucking surprise blueprint. So Jimmy Garoppolo, but he does throw for 324 yards. 324 yards, Jimmy Garoppolo. And some people want to applaud that. You want to applaud that? It was 23 or 24-7 in the fourth fucking quarter. We didn't do shit for 3 quarters, and we scored in the first. We scored first and didn't score until the fourth quarter. Let that sink in. And how do we score? A fucking sack by Minkah Fitzpatrick that was a dope-ass sack because he hit the fucking hole zooming. Smacked the shit out of Jimmy's ass, but we got the 15-yard penalty. Continue the drive. Right? But that was after we already went to kick a field goal just to try to make it 10, just to try to get 10 points. And they did some bullshit and fucked that up and gave us a first down. So then, still ended up we kept doing that. And then we finally went down there and got a touchdown. But this is Shit. Well, this shit has gotta it's gotta fucking Whew. Still got some smoke in there, I guess. Yeah, but that's just not how we're gonna win games. So we really did nothing in offense. Our team did nothing. Then we go down here and we look at Josh Jacobs. 17 carries, 62 tough yards. 62 tough fucking yards. Understand? Soon as Jimmy snaps that bitch, hands that shit off to fucking Josh, Josh got to fucking dance and shit just to try to get to the line of scrimmage. He didn't have to do that. He had to do it. He had to do that last year, but nowhere near as much as he has to do right now. Because he led the NFL in making people miss last season, mainly from the line of scrimmage. So he had a tough 67 yards, 62 yards because the whole fucking box is loaded. And it's, man, you can put Emmitt Smith back there. That's just not going to work. That fucking box is fully loaded, man. Fully loaded clip. That's why we had to open it up with the passing game, an accurate passing game, and not turning the ball over. One interception is fine, but we can't just be out there just turning balls over unless we're trying to score. You know what I mean? If he threw 3 picks and he threw 4 touchdowns, fuck it, we live with that because we probably won. But you can't throw 3 interceptions and you get fucking garbage time touchdown because we was already out the game. It's a big difference. And then you look at Devontae. Devontae, his numbers was deceiving as well. He had 172 yards, almost 200 yards fucking receiving. But he only averaged 13 yards a carry. 13 yards a catch. He had 2 touchdowns, 13 catches. Now, that's still monster numbers. 172, 2 touchdowns. That's monster numbers. But then let's go from him. Let's go to Jacoby Myers. 7 catches, 85 yards. I like that too. And then this is where the drop-off goes. Josh Jacobs, 3 catches, 18 yards. Hunter Renfrow, 2 catches, 17 yards. Amir Abdullah, another running back, 2 catches, 16 yards. DeAndre Carter, 1 catch, 16 yards. Michael Mayer, 0 catches, 0 yards. Why? He's a second-round pick. Put him on the fucking outside. Put Michael Mayer on the fucking outside and make him be a factor in the fucking game. Why trade Darren Waller? I understand he was hurt last season, but he's an all-star, superstar talent at his position. Why just give up that position completely? We're getting 0 production from that position. We're getting 0 for production from that position, and we're not getting. We got a 2-point conversion. We got a 2-point conversion from that fucking position, man. And this is what's holding the Raiders back. And this is what's going to continue to hold the Raiders back until we fucking say, all right, man, we have to, we know what Jimmy is, and we're going to have to just spread it out and live with the fucking picks. Live with it. Because he's got it. We have to spread the fucking defenses out. You can't keep coming out with that basic trash everybody's waiting for. That's what I'm saying. So eventually in the NFL, you only can hide for so long, man. Everybody wear the mask, but how long will it last? You only can wear the mask for so long. Eventually, you have to be a real quarterback. You have to. Eventually, the game is going to be on your shoulders, just like it was on his shoulders in the Super Bowl. It's going to be on your shoulders last drive of the game. And you got to be able to come through with that. Running game can't save you. Fred Warner fucking getting the fucking fumble, scoop and score can't save you. And until the Raiders understand that, we're going to continue to be in these situations where it's going to be fucking tough, Raider Nation. It's going to be hard to fucking win every single game. And now we got Jimmy Garoppolo out with a concussion, which is and everybody who was loving Jimmy Garoppolo, praising Jimmy Garoppolo, is happy as fuck. Y'all wild as fuck for that, man. Y'all wild. Give me Jimmy. Give me Jimmy. He's a winner. He's a winner. This motherfucker went down. All y'all fools is like, hey, man, fuck Jimmy. Put in O'Connell right now. The fuck? Tripping. Y'all wilding out, but he got the concussion, so it look like I don't hope wish injury on nobody, but fuck, man, this had to start sometime. But I see, unfortunately, Raider Nation, they're gonna play Brian Hoyer. This is what I feel. I hope I'm wrong. I feel like they're gonna play Brian Hoyer, get blasted, come back with Jimmy Garoppolo. Try to think that's a Green Bay game. Try to win that game. And then if we lose that game, they move to Aiden O'Connell for the rest of the season. That's what I think. That's what I think. So I think these next two games are vital. These next two games are vital. If we lose these next two games, bring on Aiden. Bring on Aiden. Because if we try to put Aiden in right now, it's a desperate move by Josh McDaniels, right? It would be a desperate move by Josh McDaniels because on top of that, this is just a concussion, right? So he should be out and he should be back next week, right? That's all it is. Couldn't talk to the media and shit, whatever the fuck that's about. But yeah, you know. So that's what it is. So we're gonna have Brian Hoyer, which is gonna be an automatic L because Khalil Mack and fucking Joey Bosa is gonna fucking eat his ass for lunch, and they always eat Colton Miller for lunch and whoever the other tackle is for lunch every single time. Always. And if you're gonna have Brian Hoyer back there, we have no fucking chance. Zero chance. The spread will probably go to 12. So that's how I feel like that's gonna go. It's gonna have to go with Hoyer, and then we end up with the rookie in 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks we end up with the rookie, y'all. But I just had to get this shit off my chest. I'm just happy that a lot of y'all Raider Nation is coming around and understanding what this is really about. This is about protecting the nation, man. This is about deserving to coach the Raider Nation. You know what I'm saying? We may not have been all that lately, but this is still a storied franchise. And you can't just come here losing and destroying the foundation that has finally began to move, because as much as they hate on John Gruden, our core pieces on this team are drafted by John Gruden. Diablo, Renfro, Crosby. These are the core pieces. You can even go Colton Miller. The nucleus of this team, Trayvon Merritt. The nucleus of this team is John Gruden. Understand that. So, Raider gang, until next game, we're going to tap back in. We're going to see what I'm going to do a preview for this LA San Diego Clipper Charger game. And y'all make sure y'all tap in, man. We're going to break down how we going to win, how we going to lose, or how we just get mad or stay confused, man. Motherfucking Raider Nation, Raider Gang TV. I'm out this